Greetings, eco-friendly viewers, to Animal World, our co-inhabitants. When viewed from space, the still, magnificent blue ocean of our Mother Earth heartens us with peace and serenity. The enchanting underwater world is like a magical kingdom filled with vibrant colors and a diversity of life. Sadly, however, the ocean and its residents have suffered greatly over the past few decades because of humankind's increased consumption of fish, crustaceans, and other marine life. Large-scale trawling, or the practice of dragging enormous nets behind boats to trap sea life along with fishing, is causing the population decline of multiple species. The disturbance of normal life cycle of ocean-dwelling beings and the destruction of ocean reefs. Ocean Defenders Alliance is a U.S.-based nonprofit marine conservation organization founded in 2004 by Kurt Leiber and his brother James Leiber to protect the Southern California nearshore reef and underwater ecosystems from abandoned or lost commercial fishing nets, lines, and other traps. These dangerous items are called ghost gear and are a direct threat to our sea animal friends and even human swimmers and divers. Materials of this type have led to the demise of numerous sea beings. Today on Animal World, our co-inhabitants, we continue our conversation with the co-founders of Ocean Defenders Alliance, Kurt and James Leiber, in part 2 of this 2-part presentation. When asked what can one person do to protect our beloved ocean, Mr. Kurt Leiber offered a very simple solution.
Stop eating fish. That's a huge decision you make every day. If you don't consume fish, that will allow them to come back. I hope people can understand that 90% of the large fish are gone. And by gone, I don't mean they disappeared. We killed them. We are eating our way through the food chain, and it's having drastic effect on the ocean. And the impact will not be short-lived. This is going to last for decades, if not centuries. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to come back. Just for instance, out here in California, in the 60s, they were catching swordfish in the 1,200 pound range, and that was pretty typical throughout the world. Now they're down to 250 pounds. We are not allowing them to grow into mature animals and proliferate. The animals, as they get older, they raise more healthy and robust young. When they're juveniles, which is the case with the swordfish and the lobsters, all these things are very young animals before we start so-called harvesting them. I hate that term, but that's what we call it. And these animals then don't have healthy young that are able to withstand all the diseases and the predators that are proliferating around here. So it has a drastic effect.
As the co-founders of Ocean Defenders Alliance, Kurt Leiber and his brother James Leiber seek to protect the inhabitants of Southern California's reefs and coastal waters from left-behind commercial fishing nets and lines. The members of the Alliance carry out the heroic task of diving deep into the sea in order to remove these huge, abandoned fishing nets that continue to trap and harm sharks, dolphins, sea lions, and smaller ocean-dwelling beings as well.
I'm connected to the earth, and I know that this is what I want to leave as a legacy. I want people to understand there were people here that would put their lives at risk to make for a better future. And everybody shares that vision in my organization through different perspectives, I'll say. But they all realize that this is a very important time in our lives. The oceans are suffering drastically. I'm not telling anybody anything new there that they haven't heard, but what is unique about ODA is there is a contingent of really dedicated people that are willing to put their lives on the line to make a difference.
So what was the spark behind the State of Ocean Defenders Alliance movement? Mr. James Leiber describes that in addition to expanding his awareness by reading about the environment, he had an underwater epiphany that led him to adopt a meat-free diet.
Why did you get involved in Ocean Defenders?
Ever since I started reading, becoming aware of the environment, which was a teenager, I determined to do something about it. I didn't know how it would take shape. Later on, my activism branched out. When I would go on trips, and I went diving a few times and got an appreciation for the underwater life and what a beautiful and mystical place it is, and I could see the importance of protecting it.
The Liber's caring love towards sea animals means they follow the famous saying of live and let live, as they honor oceanic life. Kurt Liber shared with us his thoughts on the sustainability of a plant-based diet.
What you eat has a drastic effect on the environment. The cows demand a lot of water. All these byproducts, the diesel fumes that are consumed or extracted from transporting all the meat and the refrigeration. I mean, it's a huge effect that meat eating has on the environment.
When we return, we will continue our profile of the Ocean Defenders Alliance. Please stay tuned to Animal World, our co-inhabitants on Supreme Master Television. Thanks for joining us again on Animal World, our co-inhabitants. Recently, a scientific study conducted by Drs. Millero and Crossell at the University of Miami, USA, and Dr. Wilson at the University of Exeter, England, demonstrated that fish produce more calcium carbonate as the ocean gets warmer. In other words, this research reveals that fish have a much more crucial role in counterbalancing the effects of CO2 in the oceans than previously thought. Published in the January 2009 issue of Science, the study also points out that smaller fish actually create more calcium carbonate for the same unit of biomass than bigger fish. Referring to this discovery, Kurt Liber maintains that a diet which contains any marine life only exacerbates the crisis of climate change, as our animal friends in the sea are key to maintaining a harmonious and healthy planetary environment for all.
We've taken a lot of the big fish, but we're also taking all the smaller fish, and the smaller fish add a lot of balance to the water, not just the balance of life, but also to the quality of the water. Calcium carbonate is a huge benefit to the ocean. I'm not sure how it gets into the water from the fish, but it offsets our inundating the oceans with this CO2. So leave the small fish alone too. I mean, again, we're fishing down the whole food chain, but as we do that, we're all of a sudden starting to concentrate on the sardines and the minnows that will be next. I mean, where's it going to go?
Most unfortunately, devastating and rampant whaling is occurring in international waters. Some organizations are utilizing peaceful means to bring an end to the trapping of marine life. As a board member of the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society, a leading international marine protection organization, Kurt Liber has witnessed the unimaginable cruelty of whaling.
Go out in international waters and document and interfere with the illegal killing of wildlife on the high seas. So we are dealing with the Wild West out there. There's no enforcement agency in international waters to enforce these laws. They're killing over 1,000 whales in a designated whale sanctuary in the Southern Ocean, Antarctica. And nobody's doing anything about it. So Sea Shepherd has been down there, I believe this is the 6th straight year, might be the 7th straight year. We've been down there interfering with them. And last year, for instance, We saved roughly 500 whales.
Besides abandoned ghost gear, another harmful material that Ocean Defenders Alliance seeks to remove from the sea is plastic.
That brings up another huge issue that we're really aware of, and that is the plastic plague. It was recently discovered by Dr. Charles Moore of Algalita that there is a huge patch of plastic out in the mid-Pacific. It's now called the Pacific Garbage Patch. When they first discovered it, it was the size of California, and it was, for every 1 pound of biomass in there, there was 6 pounds of plastic.
Besides cleaning up the nets and the traps, we clean up the plastic. When the beach cleanup day comes every year, we're out there with our volunteers and we take the nets on long poles and go collect the plastic. And there's certain areas where it accumulates in abundance. It's been shown to last for years and years and years, and it doesn't ever go away. It just breaks down into smaller and smaller pellets. It always surprises me just how much solid waste ends up in our water. It's tragic. So it's another aspect of what we do with the Ocean Defenders, cleaning up the plastic.
What is our ocean turning into? In what state are we leaving the seas to future generations? Do we realize the symbiotic relationship we have with the ocean? To answer these questions, we simply have to ask ourselves what the ocean means to us.
The ocean is a magical place. I go out on the deck and I'm sitting out in the ocean, while all the divers down below, and it's just a very peaceful place to be. It's a wonderful environment that deserves as much attention and protection that we can give it. We don't understand it. It's a mysterious place. I see the need to protect it. It's in our interest to protect the ocean because it's in our interest on land, There's a cycle that we're a part of, and it's very important that we protect the ocean so that we are in turn protected.
Seeing is believing. Kurt Leiber encourages us to get inspired by seeing firsthand the majestic underwater kingdom.
Get a mask. Go in the water, a stream, a lake, something near you. Get a mask, go in there and see it. Get involved and become more versed in what's going on down there. It gives you not only interest in it, but a passion for life. At least it has for me.
Our deep appreciation goes to all members of the Ocean Defenders Alliance for their courageous devotion and loving care to the sea animals and our Earth. We would also like to convey our gratitude to Kurt and James Leiber for speaking with us about their noble activities. Loving viewers, thank you for your blessed company today on Animal World, our co-inhabitants. Coming up next is enlightening entertainment after noteworthy news on Supreme Master Television. May we all ensure a harmonious ecosystem and long-lasting peace on Earth by respecting the oceans.